Hello, dear viewers, and welcome to Inside Agriculture with me, Emmanuel Mwemba. Today on the program, we look at the review of the 2025-2026 farming season and its projected outcomes. Zambia is projected to record a bumper harvest of over 4.5 million metric tons of maize. And to help us discuss this conversation in the studio, I am joined by Agriculture Technical and Professional Staff Union General Secretary Mr. Stephen Meleki and the National Organizing Secretary Mr. Mijelo Nyanga from the same union. Welcome to the program.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mwemba, and I greet all the viewers and the members countrywide.
Great. Mr. Nyanga, welcome to the program.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mwemba, and it's a pleasure to be invited to be part of this program.
Great.
And I greet all the viewers who are listening to us at this particular time.
Wonderful, wonderful. GS, to kickstart the conversation, can you introduce the organization and tell us about the support that you render to the farmers?
Thank you so much. Our union, the Agriculture Technical and Professional Staff Union of Zambia, is a sector union in the Ministry of Agriculture, and our core business is to protect, promote, and advance the interest and welfare of our members countrywide. We are present in all the districts of the country and branches in institution and quasi-government institution. Also, our functionality is majorly to negotiate the salaries and the condition of service for our workers in all their workplaces. We also have presence in the private sector, like Zambia Sugar, and also Livestock Service Center and other private sectors where we are drawing our members. So ours majorly as a union, we advocate and explain or implement policies of government to the farmers in all corners of our country, and also promote harmony at workplace. So everything that government does, it is majorly anchored on the happiness of the worker that they have employed. And we are there to make sure these workers of government and who are our members are happy at their workplace.
Great. Coming to you, Mr. Nyanga. Today we are reviewing the 2025-2026 farming season, and the country has projected to record a bumper harvest of over 4.9 million metric tons of maize. Based on the assessment that the union conducted, what were the challenges that farmers experienced during this season, and how best can they be addressed moving forward?
I think you are a moderator for that question.
Yes.
Yes, we would say the season this year was quite good, because we've seen a huge increment in terms of production, in terms of harvest, as projected by Zamstats, which did the crop forecast survey. So from that, we saw to say we're expecting about 4.9, close to 5 million metric tons of maize to be harvested this year. So despite having that positive side, we've had a few, from the assessment we did, we've had a few challenges here and there. To suffice to mention that in some areas we had the incidence of the 4 armyworms, though they were not very much because of the good rains we had, because the 4 armyworms they don't usually become a problem if if the rains are continuous. So we've had incidence of 4 armyworms, and in southern provinces, especially Kazungura, we had instances of the red locusts. Those were there. So those are some of the few challenges we had. We would not also forget issues of, in some areas we had some floods. A few areas we had some floods, but despite all that, we thank God overall the performance is okay. Now, going forward, as you said, what some of the measures we can take. I think I want to thank the Minister of Agriculture through the government of the Republic of Zambia, that they have come up across with certain policies which are there to help. If you hear all along, we've been talking of the issue of climate smart agriculture. I think this is one of the interventions can help us. And our members are there on the ground who are the food soldiers to make sure that climate smart agriculture is introduced to all the farmers, and they are training farmers through a number of projects. And the good best project I would give an example is Zamgrow. Zamgrow is one of the projects there to make sure that the farmers are trained in climate smart agriculture. We also want to thank our government through the interventions they are doing and the policies. We're also talking of the issue of mechanizing, because government has come up with a program which is called Mechanized 360, meaning a farmer starting from the land preparation up to harvesting and even post-harvest, a farmer should mechanize so that we reduce some of the losses which can come about because of the issue of not mechanizing. We are also talking of the issue of irrigation. Those of you who heard the president just when he was launching the manifesto for PND, he emphasized on irrigation. Why didn't he emphasize on irrigation? Because we're talking of the issue of climate change. You will never predict the rains. So meaning farmers should produce throughout the year. As a result, the only solution which can help farmers to produce throughout the year is the issue of irrigation. We have abundant water in Zambia, and we can use irrigation to produce crops at each and every time, meaning we can minimize some of these challenges which come due to climate change. So I think those are some of the challenges we had, and we are as a union, through our members, we are there on the ground to make sure that these policies implemented by government, these policies which are being pronounced by government, which are being implemented by our members, reach the farmers so that we can continue having this bumper harvest which we are recording. Thank you so much.
Great. Mr. Meleki, Zambia is projected to record a highest bumper harvest actually in the history of agriculture actually. What could be your reaction to this, and what does it mean to the agriculture sector?
For us in the Ministry of Agriculture, this bumper harvest, the highest so far, and the greatest jump, or by percentage, the increments was so high comparing to what we have been having. It means the policies that we are implementing through our members, that government is bringing forth, is working well. And this is all because our members are being motivated. And why am I saying our members are being motivated? I think even when you have not heard on media to say government is employing, government has been employing even in the Ministry of Agriculture, though the numbers have been low. We advocate highly to increase even more members or more employees to come in the Ministry of Agriculture to be employed. And if this is done, the 10 million that we are talking about is not something that we can fail to do. So this is happening because government is implementing the policies that are being put across in a good faith. Also, there is also the season. If you saw the season, last season, the season was so good. We were supported very well by good distribution of rainfall naturally, and majorly our members were able to implement because of this support we are getting from God himself by giving us a very good rainy season. We also can allude to this positive strive of more than 4 million, closer to 5 million metric tons of maize and other crops. Also, we had it a very good tonnage in production for this year. So all this is because our members are being supported, and our members, the only cry they have is the continual support and the funding to our members is also coming in handy to help us implement the policies that are being given to them by government to implement on the ground. And we also just want to emphasize on that to say government should continue actually doing what they are doing. We thank government for everything that they are doing to support and make sure these positive strives continue and hit the 10 million metric tons of maize that we are talking about. We are also talking about the 3 million metric tons of soybeans. For us to manage that, these positive strives has to continue coming to our members, the support that government needs to give to its employees, that is in financial, transport. I think you have heard government recently, a few years ago, bought motorbikes across. This was to help our foot soldiers to reach out to the members. So my major encouragement to government or call to government is to make sure everyone is motorized and everyone is supported for them to for the employees in the extension services especially to reach out to all the farmers on the ground. Thank you so much.
Great, amazing. Mr. Nyanga, talking about the marketing strategy for this year, actually, government has lifted restrictions on the export of maize and its products such as meal to allow smallholder farmers, among others, export maize to neighboring countries. What impact will this have on smallholder farmers?
Thank you, my moderator. This is a positive move, and I want to commend government for that. This shows that government has a direction and there's a vision for the farmers and agriculture sector at large. First of all, I would say the opening of or uplifting of the import ban to outside countries, it's a positive move because one, it reduces wastage. Because if you have excess and you don't have where to take it, it will go to waste. So meaning this will reduce wastage because the market will be readily available. And now when it comes to the smallholder farmers, you see, when you talk of a smallholder farmer, this is a farmer who is still growing, a farmer who still needs support, and a farmer who needs to be pushed. So we have our officers on the ground who are our members, who are there to organize these farmers and put them in groups or organizations or cooperatives. The government is trying to strengthen the cooperative movement because when they open these imports, the export of maize and meal, which is a byproduct of maize, it simply means that these farmers can come up in groups and form cooperatives. Then they can do what we call aggregation. They put their products together because we cannot say that a single farmer is going to export maize to Congo, but once they put together, they aggregate. They are going to have, we're going to strengthen the cooperative movement. So when you strengthen the cooperative movement, meaning these farmers are going to have the bargaining power. What do you mean when you say bargaining power? The farmers who have the say on their price because they are going to agree as a group. You see, when you agree as a group, you are going to have a stronger voice than when you negotiate on your own. So when they come together, the cooperative, they are going to say, okay, us will be selling maybe it is 7 kwacha per kg, 10 kwacha per kg, and when they agree, they will agree, and that will give them now, it will mean to give them the bargaining power, and it will give them now better prices, and meaning they are going to be, these farmers are going to have a better profit margin at the end of the day because they will calculate how much they spent in producing that maize and how much they can sell and look at what kind of gross margin are we going to have. So meaning a farmer, a small-scale farmer who is still emerging to become a middle-scale farmer or an emergent farmer who also gradually emerge into a commercial farmer. This farmer will have the power and will be able even to raise more money so that he is going to gradually grow into a farmer who is going to be stable and who is going to be able to stand on his own from the help which has come from the issue of exporting and opening up the markets because they are going to work as a group, they are going to work as a cooperative, and they are going to have the bigger bargaining power than working as individuals.
Great. Maybe just to make a follow-up on the information that you have given. How will this move going to have an impact on the price of maize and meal for this marketing season, so to say?
Thank you. That question rather is a bit tricky because some of these things they are policy based, and what I would say is usually FRI comes up with what we call a floor price, and usually that floor price is the one which determines how the maize will be sold or how the market price will be for that particular year. But now that does not mean when you have the floor price, that doesn't mean that is the last price someone can say or no. For me, my understanding, that is the starting price. So meaning when they work as a group, they can be able to say, okay, if this floor price which government has put, looking at the production, the cost of production we had, are we going to make a profit or are we going to break even? What I mean when I say break even is, are we just going to realize the money which we just put in, not even making a loss or making a profit? So because the first thing you should know is, first of all, you have to do a break even. When I sell this maize, the money which I invested, let it just come back to me. Then the excess, that's the problem. Now, from if they do a break even, I say, okay, this price is going to give me a break even. For me to have a profit, how much money should I increase? So me, what I'm saying is this is going to bring competition in terms of the buyers, because market out there is there. So now a lot of people will need now to buy the maize, which may be produced in Sumini mill, so that it can be exported. Meaning competition in terms of buying will be there, because the one who's going to offer the lowest price, farmers won't sell. The one who's going to offer the highest price, farmers will sell. Now, the issue of mini mill, sometimes government comes in to regulate. So no wonder I said it's a bit tricky, because on that one I cannot comment much, because government will come and regulate the issue of what? The prices of mini mill. But in terms of the farmer, my concern is on the farmer, because that is the concern where our members are, to make sure that a farmer grows and the farmer does what? Moves forward, and we don't want our farmers to remain stagnant at the same place. They should grow by making more profits. So what I know is there will be a competitive price because of the issue of the lifting of the ban of the exports.
Right. Coming to you, Mr. Melek, crop diversification is now a key priority in the agriculture sector. How do you assess the focus on wheat, soybean production, among others, and what more needs to be done going forward?
Thank you so much. Crop diversification, government has been preaching crop diversification, and our members on the ground, they are there promoting crop diversification, offering training to farmers on the ground, so small-scale farmers especially, on diversifying their production. Crop diversification helps the farmer to reduce the shocks of climate, because some crops are resistant to drought. Some crops can tolerate the high levels of water, like rice, for example, if you are diversifying. The preaching has been so much on maize, and the government is saying, let's not just dwell on maize. This is why you avoid government synchronizing to encourage farmers to say, go wheat-wise. Wheat has been pegged to be at 1 million metric tons by 2030. But we have traditional crops that are very good on drought, that can work well in low rainfall areas, like in our Region 1, Southern Province, for example. Crops like sorghum, millet. These crops, they don't require so much rain. These crops, they strive well even when there is a drought. But what has hindered the production of these crops is market. There are few players on the ground there who are buying sorghum. You will not find a briefcase buyer, for example, like we call them. Those partners of ours who buys in the rural areas, we are referring as to briefcase buyers. They are doing that because they have somewhere where to take the maize, but they can't aggregate sorghum, they can't aggregate millet, because they don't have where to sell them. But our foot soldiers on the ground, they are encouraging farmers to do this. And in some areas, this is happening, and they are using this because if we pick on sorghum is a staple food for some parts of our country, central province here, Serenje, Luano, Chitambo. This is their staple, not maize. Maize came in new. This is also staple for our brothers in the northwest and the Kaondes. This sorghum, they strive on sorghum. Also millet in the same areas. So what we need in the Ministry of Agriculture is to come up with a stable market for these crops that farmers can also start producing at a larger scale. There are crops like cassava. It's also one of the crops that can stand strong in drought condition, and it's doing well. But this is not to say again that government is not doing anything. Government is doing a lot through our members. Again, I would emphasize, our members are doing a lot of things. I'll give you an example of cassava and the intervention that government has given in Central Province, Chitambo district in particular. There is a big plant there. If you go there, you find a big plant there producing starch, producing mealie meal and flour from cassava. And as such, they are offering a market to our farmers on the ground there in Chitambo. These are going as far as Luapula province to buy for their feed to the plant. So government is doing a lot of things to make sure these crops which we are overshadowing to go and have them be produced at a higher scale. I can also give you another crop government is doing through our members again in Northwestern Province, the production of pineapple. It is happening there, and government is offering support to our members so that they can, the message that they are taking to farmers, there is a solution to what they are preaching. So we are encouraging actually our members on the ground to make sure the diversification that we are talking about, it is something that is giving positive strides to our economy. So let's continue this, and tomorrow I will give you an example of soybeans. Soybeans government pegged it at 1 million metric ton, but our members who are food soldiers there, they are working hard. They have seen, they will say 1 million metric ton is not something that we can fail. It's something that we are already doing. They have pushed the target to 3 million metric ton because of the hard working of the extension services that government is supporting and that we are standing in for. So tomorrow when the small scale farmers start producing wheat, I tell you, is just done by the commercial farmers. Why? Because our small scale farmers don't have the irrigation system that we can talk of. So when the small scale farmers start having irrigation systems that we can talk of, then the wheat production will go up, and government will shift this target, because it is only done by larger scale farmers, the commercial farmers. Small scale farmers are not playing any role in wheat production. But with irrigation, small scale farmers, when they come on board, the production of wheat will be enhanced, and everything that I've mentioned, we will see diversification giving a positive strive to our economy as Zambia. Thank you.
Maybe I would just like to get a comment from Mr. Nyanga. With the ongoing, the presidential irrigation initiative that was recently launched, how is the union supporting these initiatives to make it more productive and bring positive impact in the community?
Thank you. That's an interesting question. I think as a union, as GS alluded when he was giving his opening remarks, we are not only into bargaining on behalf of our members. I think as a union, we've also gone in the agriculture business itself. We are a registered entity in terms of supporting agriculture. How? we are planning to go in agreement to start giving out loans when we agree with a certain company, which is going to include a package of irrigation, so that our members and the farmers, now this is not going to be segregative. It will be inclusive to everyone who so wishes. Even you, Mr. Member, you're welcome. You can come and get a loan, agricultural loan in terms of irrigation, so that we can support the vision of our president. Because weather is unpredictable. Climate change is real. You can't predict the weather. You've already seen those who are following the weather updates. We are anticipating to have a drought this coming season, according to what we are seeing on these weather updates. Now, what's the solution? Water is there. Let us irrigate. So I think us as a union, through our members, we're encouraging our farmers to say the best way is let us do irrigation. Irrigation can be done even at small scale. We can use treadle pumps. We can use what we call gravity irrigation. All these types of irrigation can be done. Those who are doing at large scale, let them go into sprinkler irrigation. They can use center pivots. So I think for us as a union, it's a good call, which we are also supporting, because we are also now going into that. So all those who want to do that, I think they can come through our union. We'll be able to link them to a bank which is ready to give money even tomorrow. They are ready to give money. They are as ready as yesterday to give money for people who want to get into irrigation, so that they can do irrigation and do agriculture throughout the year. So for us, we really support it, and we'll be able to support it until it is implemented to the latter.
Great. As you stated, climate variability are becoming more pronounced. So now I would like to find out what interventions is the union implementing through your members to help farmers build resilience and improve their productivity.
Thank you, Mr. Mwemba. Yes, us as a union, through our members, you heard me when I was tackling the first question. I said we have projects like Zamgro. We have projects like SIFAZ. These are being implemented by our members on the ground. When you look at these two major projects, we've had a number of projects through the Ministry of Agriculture. We had the Conservation Farming Unit, we had CASU. A lot of projects have come in trying to mitigate the issue of climate or the issue of climate change. Now, if you look at all these projects, their main aim which they are looking at is climate smart agriculture. Now, climate smart agriculture, it includes things like conservation agriculture. Conservation agriculture is quite minimal, is quite broad. We have issues of minimum tillage, we have issues of crop rotation, we have issues of crop cover, we have issues of soil cover, so that we don't usually, we are not supposed to lose the moisture anyhow. We are supposed to be replenishing the soil in terms of fertility, so that the soil is not completely wiped out in terms of fertility. And we are not supposed to till the land year in, year out, so that we conserve some of the fertility and some of the moisture and some of the microorganisms which are very useful in the soil, so that they can be used to help us produce. So we talk of conservation agriculture. Some of the intervention we talk of trying to train our farmers to use what we call drought-tolerant varieties. Varieties which are drought-tolerant. In case there's a drought, those varieties will be able to withstand that drought and will be able to do what to produce. You can also use the drought-tolerant crops, like the way GS was saying, crops like cassava, crops like finger millet, crops like sorghum, crops like power millet in the southern province, finger millet in the northern province, cassava in the northern province. So all those can be grown. We are talking of issues of water management. We are talking of issues of irrigation. We are talking of issues of also incorporating agroforestry in our agriculture system, so that we'll be able to do what to make sure that we fight the issue of climate change. Then the other thing which should be enhanced is the issue of what we call early warning. Early warning system should be enhanced, so that the farmers will be able to know before even the season starts, well in advance, what kind of rainfall pattern are we expecting this year? How will the weather be this farming season? So if early warning systems are enhanced, it will help us to fight the issues of climate change. We also use the issue of what we call integrated pest management. It's not always that we should be using chemicals. There are other ways we can use. The one that's called integrated. We bring a number of measures which can help us to do what? To fight the pests and diseases which attack our crops and which come because of the issue of what? Of climate change. So I think these are some of the measures and some of the interventions the ministry is doing through our members who are the implementers, and us as a union, which we are supporting through our members, so that we can fight the issue of climate change.
Great. GS, from the technical perspective, which region of farmers remains vulnerable, and what is the union doing?
The category of farmers that are very vulnerable in production or in agriculture sector is majorly the small-scale farmer, and followed by the emergent farmer. The emergent farmer has grown from a small-scale farmer, but they still have some challenges. But majorly, we have the small-scale farmer who is struggling to produce for their household and the surplus to sell. Small-scale farmers can't buy extension services. This is why government comes in to provide the free extension services to small-scale farmers and to emergent farmers. Voluntarily, even large-scale farmers, they also access these extension services, but we still not, our members, the extension services, they don't charge anyone in terms of when they are offering this service. Small-scale farmers are there to put us in a positive way. And majorly, these 10 million metric ton I will continue preaching about, 3/4 of it is coming from the small-scale farmers aggregated. So government is putting a lot, and the union is also putting in a lot to motivate and stand in for our members so that these can be motivated and produce and explain government policies to the vulnerable small-scale farmers in the country. Thank you.
Great. Mr. Nyanga, looking ahead to the 2026-2027 farming season, what policy interventions and support systems are most critical to sustain the positive momentum currently being experienced in the agriculture sector?
Thank you, moderator. Briefly, I would say, first of all, for us to continue at the momentum at which we are moving on, and for our members to be motivated and to continue being motivated, I think what I would request, because when you talk of policies, government now, what I would request from government is that government should look into the welfare of our members who are the officers on the ground. We know some of our members on the ground, they don't have transport, which is very difficult for them to cover long distance to go and meet the farmers. Even the issue of housing, most of our members don't have houses where they are. The houses they stay, they are not of standard. So maybe the government look at so that they can continue motivating our members. The other thing is research should be enhanced. We are looking at which kind of crop, which kind of varieties can withstand drought. So meaning the issue of research, Zambia Agricultural Research Institute, I think let it be enhanced. Maybe I would say let funding increase to ZARI, so that they can do a lot of research and come up with products which are going to help us at the time at which we are when we have these issues of climate change. The other issue I would talk of is market policy consistency. GS mentioned of other crops which are not even which are not even marketable, but farmers produce them. I think we know to say maize always has a market, but we are looking at crops like finger millet, crops like sorghum, crops like cassava, crops like soybeans, crops like wheat. Let us have market consistency and the price in such for such crops. Then we also have need now to strengthen the issue of mechanization. Mechanization has come. It's high time we stopped using the traditional type of farming, hand hoes and whatever. Let us mechanize, because this will save on our time, it will save on our labor, it will even save on our cost. And we are going to be producing at the right time. Because in agriculture we say, once you lose a day, there's a certain percentage which you are going to lose in terms of production. So, and we have to do everything on time, we have to do it with joy, and we have to do without wastage. So the only time we can, the only way we can achieve that is if we do what? If we mechanize. And I want to thank government because of the mechanization, the mechanized 360 project. So that, we are urging our members to say, let us make sure that the farmers know how to use mechanization. Because what I believe in each and every district, there's what we call a mechanization center. And we want to thank government because they have provided machinery, all the equipment for mechanization, starting from land preparation up to harvest. The other thing is, let us also maybe improve on our storage facilities. Most of the products, this is what we call, so that we can minimize what we call post-harvest losses. Once we improve on our storage facilities, meaning the post-harvest losses are going to be reduced, because we know to say once we produce, no matter how much we produce, the produce will be safely kept and it will be there for a longer period of time, meaning we are going to have a food secure nation and we are going to have enough to export. No matter what kind of drought will come, we will have food because we'll secure our food if we have the good storage facilities.
Great. SG, under 30 seconds, your closing remarks.
Thank you so much. My closing remarks goes to our members. Let's not relent. Let's continue implementing government policies, and let's continue belonging to this union. This is your great union. And when we remain few of us in the union, our voice will reduce. Let's come in numbers and be part of this great union in the sector of Ministry of Agriculture and the livestock. Thank you so much.
Great. Mr. Nyanga,
thank you.
Your last word to the viewers watching.
My last word to the viewers watching, I want to say thank you to our hardworking members on the ground. Thank you to the government for the good policy and the direction they're giving to our members. Thank you to the farmers who have shown that they can produce. And I want to say thank you to Zanis for inviting us to come and be part of this program, to share what we think as a union and what we perceive agriculture to be as a union. I want to encourage all our members countrywide to say, let them continue working hard. We are there for them. But above all, even if they are union members, discipline is the most important thing. Let them remain disciplined as they have been all along, so that they can continue executing their duties with diligence and with the mighty motivation they have for now. Thank you so much.
Great. Mr. Nyanga and Mr. Melek, thank you so much for making an appearance on Inside Agriculture.
Thank you so much.
Great.
We appreciate.
Great. Dear viewers, this is where we've come to the end of Inside Agriculture. Today we were looking at the review of the 2025-2026 farming season. And in the studio, I had Agriculture, Technical and Professional Staff Union of Zambia, General Secretary Mr. Stephen Meleki, and the National Organizing Secretary Mr. Mijero Nyanga. This has been Emmanuel Mwemba saying goodbye, and on behalf of the entire Zanis production team, we say keep watching the interesting stories and programs that we have lined up for you. Goodbye and God bless you.